Hello everyone, welcome back to the Guilty Pleasure Cinema. My name is Scott Somerton, and Oldboy is overrated. Now you would think I would like Oldboy. I thought that too. I finally saw it, knowing that the remake was upcoming. I'd heard so many good things about it, heard awesome things about the fight scenes, the long takes, things like that. So I was very interested in finally seeing this before I saw the remake, because in many times the original is better. So if I'm going to watch the remake, I may as well watch the superior, potentially, original first. Because from what I understand, there's a twist to it, which I'll get into probably. And I wanted to make sure that I saw the original with that surprise element still there, just to be safe. So that said, I did see it. It's very bland. And that makes no sense when you really think about what this movie is. It's visceral. It is very blunt, and yet not at the same time. It is in your face, but not direct. Because it's all about changing the questions when you try to get answers. Which is, in a way, commendable. But a big problem here is the execution. It all falls apart at the end. And I don't even mean the twist. I simply mean the execution. Now, I personally hate movies like The Game, or Anger Management to an extent. And even what I thought of The Adjustment Bureau, from what that movie was going to be. In that you can predict someone and how they will act flawlessly based on questions, studies, etc. It literally becomes a, I know that they know that I know that they know. There's going to be a certain level where one just outright beats the other. I have a problem with that. This movie, I was very worried would do that. Because a lot is the hero of this movie trying to get vengeance. Here's the story. A drunk idiot is kidnapped and imprisoned for 15 years. During those 15 years, he goes kind of insane, trains for vengeance, learns he's lost his wife and daughter, and wants to get out. He has no idea why, he has no idea where, nothing. Finally gets out, they release him, and say he has 5 days to find what's going on. He goes and does his vengeance and gets so distracted so often. That I find jarring. After 15 years, I have a hard time to believe that he'd just take time to do whatever when he only has 5 days to accomplish what he's trying to accomplish. Again, that's a problem. But every time he gets in there and gets a head or a leg up or something on the bad guys have planned for that and already have something accounted for. Every time. Now, to be fair, there is elements of like hypnotic suggestion and stuff like that. So they were not just predicting what he would do, but conditioning him to react in a certain way to triggers that they established. So I'm okay with that. The fact that he acted a certain way in this area is totally fine, because they spent 15 years ensuring he would react that way when they got him to that area. That's perfectly fine. The reason this all falls apart is at the end, when they reveal the obvious twist which you see coming. It's not shocking. The execution is. They actually do play it very well. It's probably a bit of a culture difference, because our hero learns the truth of everything and it just breaks him because of what he's done and to who, and he's just gone. Like, yeah. And he will do anything to ensure that it does not happen to someone else. And what he starts doing is begging and pleading with the bad guy to not let it happen to the other person. He starts just breaking down entirely. And I know this is such a very specific thing for me to be frustrated about, but after this whole movie, it just breaks down into silliness where he's licking the guy's shoes, saying, "I will do anything, I'll be your dog, I'll be a good dog," and goes on for 4 or 5 minutes, barking, going rough, look how good of a dog I am, please don't do it. Now I get it. They want to make sure that you understand that he is that desperate. But why is he offering himself up to be like a dog? Nothing ever in this movie set up that that was something that would be an acceptable way for him to stop what he's doing and not let this happen to the other person. The bad guy didn't establish anything about, if you were like a dog, I'd stop. So why is he offering it up? And then he goes, our hero, goes and cuts his own tongue so that he could never say anything. And to me, it reeks of a non-natural reaction to everything in this movie. It completely falls apart in that ending. The other problem I have with this movie is that so many people have said that it is amazing. It brings you in like no other of its kind. Now, oh Life of Pi, when I finally see you, I hope you're not in this show. But, Oldboy, as said here, it's innovative and surprising. The violence serves the plot. It's brutal. Ultimately a black comedy. Has vengeance. It's drama, action, psychological thriller. Has introduced Korean cinema to more viewers than any other film. This is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon syndrome, isn't it? That's what this is. This is being praised by people who've never seen something like this before, even though it's kind of common. Crouching Tiger was lauded on by many, many people for the unbelievable wirework, martial arts, and cinematography. Now, to be fair, it really hadn't been done quite that good before, so there is that element for you. But if you've watched a lot of Hong Kong martial arts action movies, even just a lot of Jackie Chan's pre-Drunken Master American release stuff, like Young Tiger, the Drunken Master movies, the originals, Dragon Fist, have you seen those? And even Jet Li stuff? You've seen all that kind of stuff before. The fact of Crouching Tiger, it's the best done, but it's nothing new and unique. That's what this is. That's what it truly feels happening here. I've seen movies that are brutal, that go crazy, that go out there. So this isn't innovative in any way. I myself shot a movie running around a block. So a long take isn't innovative. Very impressive, yes. Because technologically speaking, it is incredibly hard and demanding. But to say here it's a revelation of an action sequence, no, it isn't. Not one bit. Now the story does go places. That's pretty unique. Freely admitting that. It's kind of amazing they did do an American remake. But again, it's a bit of an independent movie, so fair enough, you can get away with that. And, well, let's go there. The whole point of the movie is that the man is locked up for 15 years as part of an experiment to see how people will react. And also to see if things can happen if you set them in motion a certain way with ignorance. In the original movie, when he gets out after 15 years, he's trained himself watching TV and mentally preparing to fight people, and does, and is successful. Meets a girl and falls in love. They have sex. He truly is in love with her, and she becomes bait, hostage, many things that impedes him from his progress in getting to the bad guys. I haven't said anything specific, but you probably already know where it's going. And that's part of the problem with the movie. But there's part of you going, no, not really, do they? Yes. What he eventually gets is a box at the end, and there's a photo album in it. He's flipping through it. The very first picture he sees is of himself, his wife, and his baby girl. Now you know where it's going, don't you? Yes, he flips through the pages and watches his baby girl grow up. And it turns out that you get to a point around college and you realize that's the girl he met, that's the girl he slept with, that's his own daughter. That's why he goes off the deep end. That's why he will be a dog to make the guy not have the daughter experience it. That's why he cut out his own tongue. Now the daughter, he does call her and prevents her from opening it, so she will never know. The movie actually keeps going after a bit because he tries to get this pulled out of him so that there's the evil version and then himself. And it's ambiguous as to which one's which, but truthfully, it's as ambiguous as, was Total Recall all a dream? As far as I'm concerned, it's very obvious what that was. We'll probably get to that. So that's what it does. The remake starts off with the guy actually being kind of competent before he's captured, so you kind of lose something. You don't watch someone grow into this prick. He is one. And they go 20 years, because in America you gotta be of age, right? Yeah. And they do change things up to make it less obvious. They've changed it so that the daughter isn't just moved away like in the Korean one, but is, I believe, like they even have someone fake it, or an actress that believe she's dead. So he doesn't have any comprehension that that could be his daughter, because from the pictures of who he saw his daughter was someone else faking him out. So that when they do the reveal of the daughter, you're coming into this going without any possibility of knowing that's what it is. The original, you never know. They don't outright say it can't be. That's more effective. And something that is just frustrating is the dub, because they do a lot of things where they talk when they feel they have to make a noise. It's a common problem with animated dubs and such. I did not listen to the original Korean. That was probably a mistake, but that's another topic. Oldboy is overrated. Is it good? Absolutely. It is worth seeing, yes. And I'm sure the remake is competently enough done. It merits it too. But it is not 4 stars by 3 people. It is not a brilliant masterpiece. This is very competent. It's overrated.